things that you need to understand if you want to be rich. Three things that if you apply from today, you begin to see your life moving forward and upward financially. And the first thing I want us to talk about is the difference between assets and liabilities. Every rich person understands and invests in assets, while the poor most of the time is a result of making the wrong financial decisions by accumulating liabilities that put them in a bad financial situation. Okay, what's an asset? As defined by Robert Kiyosaki, an asset is anything you own that brings you cash flow on a monthly basis. Something that puts money into your pocket regularly, whether you work or you don't work. Assets give you a leeway towards financial freedom. So an asset will always put money in your pocket, while a liability is something that you own that takes money from your pocket. And I'm going to show you example. Let's say you have a car, and that car is constantly taking money from your pocket. You have a personal car, you fuel the car, you maintain the car, but the car does not bring an income into your life. That car is a liability, my friend. If you have a house and you live in that house and that house does not produce money, yet you have to maintain the house, you have to pay all the electricity bills and all the other bills, that house as well is a liability. It does not put money into your pocket. But if you have a house that is an investment property and that house is being rented out, after all your expenses on the house, you have an extra income coming from that house, then that house is an asset. You have a car, and that car is, maybe a passenger vehicle that transports people and makes some money at the end of the month. That is an asset, okay? Assets give you a leeway towards financial freedom. So the rich will always focus on building the assets column against the liability column. So if you want to be rich from today, you need to sit down and look at the things that you own right now and put them in two categories. The first category is called the asset, while the other category is called liability. And remember, assets will always put money in your pocket, whether you work or not. Your phone can be a liability or an asset, okay? And you need to think, how can I convert some of my liabilities into assets? Because there are liabilities that can be converted into an asset. If you have a car right now and you are using that car just to park it and just spread around, and you don't have a steady source of income, you're always struggling to fuel the car, maintain the car. Why? It means you don't need a car at this time of your life. It's preferable to take that car and make it a transport vehicle. By so doing, you convert that liability into an asset, okay? Or if you have a house and you're living in that house, you can think about, cutting down your lifestyle and renting out a certain part of that house. Then that house begins to bring an income, and that house has been converted from a liability to an asset. If you have a phone and use that phone just to put credit, and you go online and you text and just chat and waste time, you can take that same phone and then you begin to advertise products online. You begin to trade forex or something that will bring an income through that phone, and by so doing, you convert that phone from a liability to an asset. The more you accumulate assets, the more you're free. Assets make money to work for you. Liabilities make you a servant of money. Assets give you freedom, while liabilities put you in bondage, okay? So please think again before you buy liabilities. For the rich, they always invest in assets, and their assets buy their liabilities. So there will be a time when you need some liabilities in your life. But before you go for liabilities, you must go for assets first. Assets before liabilities. If you're a young person, please think about going for assets and let your assets buy your liabilities. You must make sure that before you get to a certain age, your assets become your source of income. So for the poor, their job is their source of income. But for the rich, their asset is the source of their income. So once your assets are working and producing income for you, then you are free to do whatever you want to do with your life. Focus on assets first. The second thing that you need to understand, if you want to be rich, number two, is the difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification. For you to be able to buy assets, you must delay some certain gratifications. Instant gratification wants you to get a dream house now, a dream car now, live your dream life now. That's why you see the poor are always trying to look like the rich, but the rich are always rich. They are rich. They don't need to look like the rich. You see, poor people have the most expensive phones, sometimes the most expensive cars. They try to wear the most expensive clothing. Why? They are trying to put up a false image. Instant gratification. But the rich, most of the time, they think about using what they have to buy assets, to cut their expenses in order to accumulate more and more assets. So you must understand delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is saying that though I like to have everybody likes a comfortable life. I like my dream house today. I like my dream car today. I like my dream lifestyle today. But because of my future, because I value freedom, I will delay that gratification and rather take that money today and invest it and buy assets, so that tomorrow I would not need to still be in the same bondage that I am in today. If I have a job today, I must be thinking that in the next 3 to 5 years, I should be free from the job to live for my purpose and calling. And how can I attain that? Is by going for delayed gratification in order to accumulate assets. The third thing you must understand, if you want to be rich, is the difference between a consumer culture and an investment culture. The Bible says that God gives seed to the sower and he gives bread to the eater. So every time an income comes into your hands, there are two ways that people perceive it. The consumer sees bread, but the investor sees a seed. Two different mentalities. So if you give 1,000 to 10 people, the consumers will see bread for today, but the investor will see a seed for tomorrow. So the investor would think about, how can I multiply this 1,000? Where can I invest this 1,000? You know, the Bible talks about 3 people that were given talents, talking about money. The first one had 5 talents, another one had 2 talents, another one had 1 talent. The one that had 5 talents, he took his money and 5 talents, he went and traded, invested his money. And by the time his master came back, he had made 5 other talents. So he did not consume the talent. Why? He saw the talent as a seed to be multiplied, and he multiplied it. The one that had 2 did the same. But the one that had 1, he took that 1 talent and he buried the talent. He did not trade with the talent. So when the master came, there was no profit. And the master said to him, wicked servant. But today, most of us are more than the wicked servant, because we don't even keep the talent. We eat the talent. We eat the talent. And when you consume your seed, you mortgage your future. When you consume your seed, you sell your destiny. If you like this video, please kindly subscribe to the channel. It will help us as a channel, and we'll be so grateful for you doing that. Okay? And let's continue our subject. If you eat your seed, you sell your future. If you eat your seed, you mortgage your destiny. So please, if you want to be rich, think about these 3. Number 1, difference between asset and liabilities. Number 2, difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification. And number 3, the difference between a consumer culture and an investment culture. If you put these 3 things in your life from today, you will have a testimony. So